Alright guys, so just wanted to show you what I've done to mod out the PAC-FA T-50. See, the fans I'm using are 2-watt 25 1400 Hz with Wemotech. I think they're MIDI Pros 70mm. I'm using a Futaba S-Bus system, so I've got the flaps and aileron on channel 1, 2, and then the elevator on channel 3. As you can see with the flap and the aileron, I used heavier gauge linkages, clevises and so forth, both on the aileron and on the flaps. And then on the landing gear, I've got the what is the Mad Thruster magnetic brakes. Up in here you can see I've got two Futaba receivers. I forget the exact model number, but effectively giving me 14 channels. So I've got rudders on one channel, I've got gear on another, and then basically everything else has its own channel, so I can run the proper mixes and so forth. What other modifications did I make? So so on the rudders, see I'm going with the prototype 5 paint scheme, but on the rudders I actually ran a carbon spar from the SU-35 through the rudder into the plastic and foam here with a lot of epoxy running throughout. So the rudders are pretty sturdy. There's not a lot of play in there. So right now I'm kind of at a point where I got to figure out how to mod out this elevator. So I think what most people have been doing is putting nylon hinges through here, reinforcing with ply and epoxy. So I'm giving that some thought right now. I think that's pretty much everything. I've got 75 amp ESCs, probably more than I need. I've cut some foam away on the wings to inlay because these just weren't the proper length, so I actually had to put a 4-inch, this is a 4 or 5-inch extension, coil everything up in here. The servos are high-tech 50-65. Don't know if this is zooming up properly, but there we go. But yeah, they're digital HS 5065 MGs. They seem to be a good speed and power output. These are the S-Bus decoders, and try to get it good. There we go. And then let me flip it over. If I can do this. So there's the paint scheme. The canopy. Almost done with that. I might paint this black to look more scale. I actually burrowed out this little area in here because the battery I'm going to run is a 6S inline, I think it's just 2.3S Thunder Power, and it fits right in that tray pretty well. And then this will actually come to its side and then I've figured the cockpit fits pretty squarely right on there with no mods this time around. I have to put another coat on there. I'm going to use heavier linkages here as well on the rudders. See if this thing will actually knife flight. And that is all I can think of for now. There is a little bit of a gap, as you'll see, running up through here, which is a bit annoying, so I don't know, maybe some black tape, some sort to seal that up. This was punched through from the other side with the wheel wells. The wheel well is right about here, so you gotta be careful of that. And then I just went a coat of black spray paint, tried to keep it in that Prototype 5 paint scheme, and all that's left to do right now is really just tweak out all the mixes and install those elevator horizontal stabilizers, and the tail cone and the nose cone, reinstall this hatch mechanism, put the antennas out there so they get good reception. One idea I did have, and I actually ordered some other parts from Motion RC, was to get smaller cheater grates, and they go about there. So I'm still deliberating on this, trying to figure out if that makes sense, if it needs more air, or if that's just gonna slow it down when it's moving at a pretty fast rate. It's pulling the air from here rather than through the front. So that's it. Hope this helps.